The climate crisis is a looming threat that all of us must face. But could nuclear fusion be the answer to our prayers? We are on the brink of a new energy revolution, and it is time to get excited about the possibilities that nuclear fusion could bring to our planet. In today's video, we will explore what nuclear fusion is and how it could help us tackle the climate crisis. Hello, and welcome to Prime Time TV. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive more amazing content. Now let's get started with the video. Let's begin by saying that fusion energy is, perhaps, the longest of all long shots. And to build a fusion reactor is essentially the creation of an artificial star. That may seem impossible, but scientists have been studying the physics of fusion for a century now and working for decades to figure out how to control it. Yet almost every time researchers take a step forward, the goal seems to move even farther away. Still, the huge potential of fusion makes it hard to ignore. It's a technology that could safely provide a huge and steady stream of electricity by using seawater as fuel to start the same reaction that powers the sun. Compared to traditional energy sources, it would not release any greenhouse gases and would make very little waste. Furthermore, with global average temperatures rising and energy needs increasing, the search for fusion is more important than ever. It could help us solve both of these problems at the same time. Although its allure, fusion is frequently regarded as a scientific curiosity rather than an actual world-changing answer to a big problem. So, what makes fusion energy so tricky? Well, trying to create the sun on Earth is a tall order. We have been able to start fusion, but in ways that can't be controlled, like in thermonuclear weapons, also called hydrogen bombs. Apart from that, fusion has also been demonstrated in labs, but under conditions that use much more energy than the reaction produces. In most cases, the reaction requires making a high-energy state of matter called plasma, which has strange properties and behaviors that scientists are still trying to understand. To make fusion useful, scientists will have to make it happen in a controlled way that gives off much more energy than they put in. Only then can that energy be used to boil water, turn a turbine, or make electricity. Currently, teams all over the world are looking into different ways to do this, but most of them fall into two broad categories. One of them is using magnets to contain the plasma. Also, this is the method used by ITER, the world's biggest fusion project, which is currently being built in the south of France. The other category involves confining and compressing fusion fuel in a small space using lasers. This is the method used by the National Ignition Facility, NIF, at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California. Because replicating a star necessitates large-scale research, fusion studies frequently employ the most powerful scientific tools ever built. Developing hardware that can resist these extreme circumstances is a scientific and engineering problem in and of itself. Handling such large-scale experiments has also proven difficult. The initial cost estimate for ITER was 6.6 billion euros, which has subsequently more than tripled. Its construction began in 2007, with the first experiments set to commence in 2025. Can nuclear fusion be an answer to the climate crisis? Well, the answer is yes, but fusion will have to be more than a science experiment. Just as space exploration is more than just astronomy, fusion is much more than just physics. It should be a leading tool in the fight against the world's most important problems, like climate change and getting people out of poverty. We are running out of time to stop climate change, and electricity and heat production are still the main sources of gases that trap heat in the atmosphere. To meet one of the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement, which is to keep warming to less than 1.5 degrees Celsius this century, the world needs to cut greenhouse gas emissions by at least half by 2030. Many of the world's biggest emitters of greenhouse gases also want to stop adding to climate change by the middle of the century. To cut emissions by this much, fossil fuels need to be phased out as quickly as possible, and much cleaner energy sources need to be used immediately. The need for more energy and the need to cut carbon dioxide emissions may be too much for the technologies we have now to handle. Climate change is a reason to bet on many different kinds of long-term energy solutions, but fusion may be the one with the most uptrend. And on a longer timescale, closer to the 2040s and 2050s, it could be a real solution. Artificial star power may not be available for decades, but the groundwork must be established now through research, development, and deployment. It might become humanity's crowning achievement after more than a century of work. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks a lot for tuning in. See you later.